Hey, this is Troy Taylor with Totem Nation, the Route 10 podcast. Coach Bald's on here. We're going to talk a little bit today about Tinker Hatfield and Nike and what we can learn from Tinker Hatfield. Coach Bald, do you know anything about Tinker?
Well, I know that he is the creator. I believe he's the creator of the Jordans from, I want to say, the Jordan 3s to about the Jordan 14s.
Yeah.
That's what I know. Is that right?
Yeah, I think he did the threes to the 15s, and then he did the 20s. And the thing about him that not a lot of people know, and hey, Coach Ball, could you hit the comments? If anybody's commenting, can you put them up there? Tinker was a pole vaulter at Oregon, and everybody knows, that's the home of Nike. And his teammate was Phil Knight, who became the owner of Nike. And his coach was Bill Bowerman. What's up, TN fan 23 Clips? You're the best. Carter, you're the best. Thank you for watching today. We're going to talk a little bit about Tinker Hatfield and what we can learn from him and Nike. Tinker was a pole vaulter for Oregon, and he sustained an injury to his ankle. And Coach Bill Bowerman, he didn't even like to be called coach. He liked to be called a teacher of competitive response. And Bill Bowerman helped change Tinker's life because Tinker was going to be an architect. So he could draw, but Coach Bowerman knew that he couldn't go on, being a pole vaulter with this injury that he sustained. So he got him to start designing shoes. So, Coach Ball, from what you've heard so far about Coach Bill Bowerman and how he was a teacher of competitive response, and, Tinker was a pole vaulter and he sustained this horrible injury, and he was expecting on possibly one day being an Olympian, being a life coach. What do you think about what I've just said so far about Tinker?
Hey, everything happens for a reason. Some people have setbacks. And some people, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes your worst day ends up being your best day. And I think that absolutely in his pocket, he definitely made the best of that advantage. Some people can just sit there and sulk and feel bad about themselves and never develop to the person they're supposed to be. And, some people can use that as a stepping stone, can use it as motivation and everything. And I think he picked the right way. And, that's the thing, man. Like, I love the subject that we're touching on. I'm a kid that grew up, wearing pro stance. I had some voice. When I got big time, I think I had some LA gear. I remember one year after Dean Brown won the dunk contest, I got a pair of black Reebok pumps.
Yeah.
I thought I was the man, but I never thought I would own a pair. And then, my life changed around. I'm able to have things I never had before. So yeah, man, I rock next time, man. I got a couple pair I want to show you guys.
Okay, good. So go ahead and get your Jordans out there that you're going to show all these guys. But Tinker, he started working for Nike, and they had a 24-hour contest. And it's kind of like, hey, you guys work for 24 hours and come up with something. And I believe what he came up with was the Air Maxes. So This dude, Tinker Hatfield, he came out with the Air Max 1s, the originals. And there was this building in France where the outside of the building was really the inside of the building. And he came up with the idea, and everybody said this is a stupid idea. He said Nike Air needs to have an airbag where you can see it. And people were like, that's stupid. That's never going to work. And he did it. So this guy invented Nike Air Max 1s. He invented the Hirachis. He invented the first cross trainers of all time, which were worn by John McEnroe, the Andre Agassi's, the Bo Jacksons. But, what really, put his stamp on history was the Jordan 3s, because Michael Jordan wasn't happy at Nike with the 1s and the 2s, and they got him hooked up with Tinker. And Tinker had a meeting with the Jordan parents, and Michael Jordan was like 4 hours late, and then he showed up, and he showed Michael Jordan the Jordan 3s, but Tinker had designed outfits to match, and that's what sold Jordan, so Jordan stayed. So what kind of Jordan you got to show, Coach?
Yeah, well, my favorite ones are actually the Peter B. Moore. He's the one that originated the 1s and the 2s. So those are the ones that I normally use. And I got some feedback on my end of what's going on. It's pretty windy out here, but these are some of my favorite pair right here. That's the original colors right there. These are the ones.
Yeah,
I love these.
The ones.
Yeah. Probably my second favorite pair of them. I got the all blue OGs. I love those. Those are definitely my favorites. But this right here, man, this was actually a gift from my wife and everything. Happy wife, happy life. Well, man, she makes me happy this year. These are probably his best pair right here. I don't know if you can see those. But these right here.
Oh, wow. Those are the Concords.
They're the Retro 11.
Those are the ones that Michael Jordan. See, here's what I want to say about Tinker. Tinker said that he was a futurist because, Robert Zemeckis, who did Back to the Future, came to him and said, I need you to design a shoe that they would be wearing in 2015, because it was like 1985. And it was like, 30 years in the future or whatever. And he designed the Air Mags, the shoe that would, the laces would, artificial intelligence close. And Tinker, like he went all the way up to the 15s. And I think on the 15s, this dude had already created all the way through the 13s, through the 14s. And on the 15s, people didn't like him. And he felt like he was, he put so much pressure on himself to, continue to win and continue to come up with a great Jordan. And the 15, I don't know if you remember that one, but that's the one that kind of looks like the Peter Pan shoe. And that was an ode to Bill Bowerman and his fedora hat. And they brought him back to do the 20s. But Tinker says, if you watch the TED Talk that he did, he says eventually you go from being the player trying to win championships to being the coach. And he now coaches and helps young people because he says all this information that he learned, he's got to pass it on to the next generation. So, Tinker, we did this show for you. So do you understand what Tinker's saying, Coach Bald, that eventually you become the coach, the teacher of competitive response, and that you have to pass this information on to the next generation?
Without a doubt, man. That's the thing that sports teaches you. It teaches you life lessons and what you can do on the field and how you prepare yourself is the same way you should prepare yourself for everything that you tackle in your life and everything. And it's that was the thing. That's why I got into coaching, because I had all this knowledge, and unless you use it, it's worthless. It's wasteless information in your brain unless you use it. That's the thing. I also believe is, playing is the best thing in the world, but the next best thing is coaching. And then when you can see guys, that light turn on, you can see those guys making plays they should have been making the whole time. You kind of see that light go off, man. It's a special thing. And you never know whose life you're going to change by what you say to them. It's nice to give some kids. Some kids don't have somebody there for them. Some kids don't have a person in their corner that believes in them or that tells them, "Hey, man, you can do this," or this is how you do it. I think the best leaders in the world, they might not draw out a blueprint, but they sure as hell leave some footprints behind.
Yeah. And Bill Bowerman was that coach in Tinker Hatfield's life that, really, he was going to be an architect. He had planned on being a professional athlete, making it to the Olympics. But, your plans ain't always what happens. But, Tinker Hatfield changed the world, man. And, he's helped so many people. And, getting to the games this weekend. Let's start off with this first one, man. The Chiefs and the Ravens. Everybody out there is wearing Nike. So, Nike's a global brand, on the uniforms. But what did you think about that first game, Coach Ball?
Well, I'll tell you what meant the most to me in that first game. I used to coach at Lakewood High School, and I mentioned that. And my guy, Marquez Valdez Scantlin, MVS, he's had during the season, he's had a couple plays that, that didn't go his way, that he didn't make. And he got a lot of heat for it. He probably even got some threats, you know what I mean? And that's a sick thing. And that shows you how much passion people have for the game. But I think he completely redeemed himself with the biggest play of the year at the biggest moments. And that's what big-time players do. They make the biggest plays at the biggest moments. And his reception definitely sealed that game for him. But it was just a great effort by the Chiefs. I think they came in there with a chip on their shoulder. And, I just didn't like Lamar's body language. And I think the guy that carries his jacket around to warm him up after play, I think he had more yards than Lamar did in the first half down to put that jacket on. Very disappointing.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Very disappointing.
Yeah. Tennessee fan 23 clips. Appreciate you. Tinker's just a great guy.
Thank you.
MVS is a great player. Marquez Valdez Scantlin. And why is Patrick Mahomes so good? That's one thing I wanted to make a video about. Why is this guy such a great quarterback? He was number 12 coming out of high school and dual threat quarterbacks. The guy could throw a baseball 94 miles an hour. His dad was a major league pitcher. Why were there 11 guys ranked ahead of him? Why is he such a great quarterback in your mind?
I think his arm talent is just on another level. I think him being a multi-sport athlete, and I think having a dad that has been there and kind of knows the path, I'm pretty sure Dad left some very good footprints for him to follow in. And, the guy, he's just got a determination and everything about him. And I loved him when he was at Texas Tech with Kyle Kingsbury there. They were a big time threat. And, Texas Tech didn't have that great of a defense, so he had to throw that ball around. So you got to see a lot of that talent. And he's a hell of an athlete, man. The guy can run. I think he's just off the charts, from the neck up, and he doesn't make a lot of bad plays. And he runs the ball when he has to. He took some good shots, man. He really showed his value today.
Yeah, Lamar, I'm a big fan of Lamar, and I was cheering for the Ravens because of Morgan Moses starting right tackle. Played for us at Meadowbrook. So you had a player on the Chiefs. I had a player on the Ravens that I coached. And, dude, I'm not picking against Patty Mahomes anymore. That guy is a winner. He sits in the pocket. He can escape. He can chuck it down the field. The second game. Now, how is Matty doing? Our friend from Michigan.
You know, I
How is
checked
Matty Ice
on.
doing, Coach Ball?
Yeah, I checked on him, and you know, he's a guy that has dealt with a lot himself, and he just looks at the big picture. And he loves his football team. He loves the direction that they're going in. They've got a lot of young stars, a lot of young talent on that team. So, you know, he's proud of them, and he's excited to see where they go from here. You know, he definitely thinks they're going to be a playoff team for the next 4 to 6 years. They've got a lot of young talent on that squad. I mean, there were 4 players yesterday they showed in the draft that huge impacts, and that's just in their rookie year. So it's going to be interesting to see what they definitely going to be interesting to see what they do. Oh, real quick, Coach. So back to that first game, you guys did have a guy that you had coached that did sign a contract with Kansas City, correct? In the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't coach him, but Isaiah Moore is from LC Bird. Yeah.
Isaiah Moore. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I definitely wanted to get that that in there too. I knew that we had a Bird guy there, so much respect to that. But yeah, man, you know, he's a guy that looks at the big picture, and they're relevant. You know, football is big time up there. For a long time, it really wasn't with the Lions. They're definitely a force. Yeah, man, that ball just bounced right for them. You know, that second half, you had you know, that one catch by Ayuk. I mean, holy cow, that was unbelievable. That could have easily been a pick goal line. Then you had that fumble. So that ball just didn't bounce. The odd thing to me, Coach, that I saw was that their kicker was 1 for 3 from 40 yards beyond, outside of a dome. That's just a mind-boggling stat for me going into the biggest game. You don't have a guy that you trust. Where was Robbie Gold at? You know?
I don't know. He's watching somewhere. And Tennessee fan, 23 Clips says, I'm a Ravens fan, but Patty is just insane. Yes, he is. All right. Tennessee fan, 23 says, Lions are a way different team that they were last year, and they showed that last night. Yeah. So, you know, everybody criticized Dan Campbell for going for it on 4th down. You know, he shoulda, coulda, woulda. He should have kicked the field goal. You know, what's the sentiments from the Detroit fans? Are they just all in misery together, or are they upset about that call? I mean, they did fumble the next possession or whatever it was after that score. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, that ball just bounced funny. And, you know, if you were watching it too, man, I was watching at a 49er friend's house. Shout out to my boy Bill Armstrong. Shout out to my brother Ben Anderson, who's over in Afghanistan right now. He was watching. He's a happy camper. But I told both of those guys at halftime, I said, don't worry. I got a feeling that Money Montana is going to come out wearing number 13. And Brock Purdy played about as good as a football game as the guy could. I mean, he looked like vintage Montana with a couple of plays. That one, somehow he got out of a sack, spun, and hit Kittle tiptoes on the sideline. I mean, that might be your play of the year right there for the playoffs right now.
Yeah. So now we got
I think that was
Chiefs. We got a rematch of 2020, right? The Chiefs and the 49ers. And the Chiefs won.
That's
so
right.
Now,
yeah, Super Bowl 53.
So that'll be in 2 weeks. And we'll be live streaming. Tennessee fan 23 Clips. Appreciate you watching, man. How did you find out about Totem Pole Nation? I just want to talk a little bit about Tinker Hatfield and how he overcame that adversity and that injury, and how you have to overcome adversity in life. And the guy went on to create the Jordan 3s through the 15s. And one of the most influential, here's another thing. He's one of the most influential footwear designers of all time. So they gave Michael J. Fox a pair of Air Mags that actually close on themselves, lace themselves on the same exact day that was in that movie on 2015. Ain't that crazy?
Well, Back to the Future, right?
Yes, Back to the Future 2. That
Yeah.
in 2015, they actually gave him a pair of those shoes, and man, things are worth a lot of money today. Air Mags. Yeah. So, anything else on your heart, Coach? Anybody got any questions? You know, we just wanted to drop some knowledge for y'all today on the Route 10 podcast. You know, what are you up to today, Coach Bald? What's your plans for the rest of the week?
Yeah, man, we're just taking it day by day, my man. Just taking it day by day. Just trying to kind of reprogram myself, try to get my mojo back. You know, I had a lot of setbacks with this injury and everything, so trying to get my blueprint dialed in.
Well, talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit about your injury that you sustained, because that kind of goes along with our theme of Tinker Hatfield getting injured. So what injury, for the people that are new to Total Pole Nation, what injury did you sustain, and how have you overcame that, and what have you been doing?
Yeah, man. I mean, I ruptured my bicep. I mean, it tore it right off the bone. I was helping a friend get a refrigerator out of the front door, and I mean, those things, you can't even slip a credit card in there. They're so dialed in, so close. But as we were doing it, you know, it felt like lightning struck me. But that's exactly what it was. My bicep shot up into my armpit, and I you know, had to go get it. Had to get, you know, fully recovered, fully surgical, and you know, he had to literally go up with his, like, he's a big guy, Dr. Coco Eaton, world famous in St. Petersburg, Florida. He does all the Tampa Bay Rays. He's their orthopedic, but he's a big dude. He had to put his hand up into my armpit and pull it all the way down and staple it into the arm, and you know, basically they had my arm, that cast. I'm telling you, it squeezed so hard for so many days. And then when they took the cast off, I mean, you know, just imagine your arm being choked out for, you know, a good month. And yeah, man, when they took that thing off, I mean, it was brutal, man. I'm just looking at my arm and it looks like a dead noodle. You know, I hit up one of my good friends, Greg, who had the same thing, Greg Vigris. And Greg told me, he said, "Look, brother, you got two things you can do." He said, "You can laugh or you can cry." He said, and I cried. And I'm looking at my arm and I just started laughing because it made me laugh. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, I can't do that. So yeah, man, it's been a long, slow recovery. I had the bionic arm on for about 3 months. I did then I got to do some PT and everything, and I got released. And just a slow process, man. I'm now almost 4 months post surgery. I'm starting to lift lightly, but I'm just taking it one day at a time. Like, that's the thing. You don't know how much you use something till you lose something. You know, it's
Yeah.
tough. One arm and everything. You know, one arm is just dying, and the other's not doing anything. So it's on, man. Full recovery time, but you know, coming up here in February, I think February is a good month for me. We always do our dry February, so no alcohol in the diet for February. So I'm planning on really dialed in, motivated, and my lifestyle, man. Back to who I am. Yeah, man. I was in
Tennessee
a dark
fan.
place, man. You do. You get in a dark place. You get in a darkness, and you know, sometimes you got to shut things off around the world and focus on you, and focus on getting yourself back. And you know, that's the thing, man. I know I can't help anybody else until I get myself where I want to be at. So that's what I've been really focusing on, really dialed in on. And you know, I just got to keep grinding at it and keep working. And the business is going good. St. Pete Rejuvenate is doing phenomenal. We've lost probably 1,000 pounds within the past year. We've got a lot of amazing clients. We still get people coming in to get ketamine boosters. And the ketamine has just been a complete game changer for people that are suffering with chronic pain, people that are suffering with severe depression. It's been known to help people that have bipolar. And I was talking about reprogramming myself. That's kind of what the ketamine does for people that have had tragic events. What it seems to do is it just kind of gives them another way to look at things. Maybe to look at themselves, but from another lens. You know what I mean? It kind of lets you take a step back and detach yourself, you know, kind of reprogram yourself. Throughout this process, it's been awesome to see, you know, the people that in my corner motivate me. But I'm usually that guy that's always motivated. Good to get back sometimes. Especially got to my wife, man. I cannot do any of this without her. She pushed me, motivated me throughout this whole process. And I know she wanted to choke me out sometimes, throat punch me, but luckily I'm still doing well. I haven't been throat punched yet, so it's been a process, my brother.
So Tennessee fan clips. He said he started watching the NFC AFC Championship live stream.
Okay. Yeah, Lyric.
On my own. Oh, Lyric Shorts, but I changed my account name. Nice. So okay. Lyric Shorts is the Tennessee fan. I like it. All right. So we remember you, and then Nadua Farms. We love you, man. And how about those Chiefs? As long as the Chiefs have Patty Mahomes, they got a shot to beat everybody in the universe. That's including the Monstars. All right, he
looks good, fam.
He can beat anybody.
Yeah, man.
Are those shoes that you have? Are those the Space Jams? Are they the same ones he wore in the Space Jams? The ones with the patent leather?
I don't believe so, man. I don't believe so. No, I think these were his. Man, they had
those are the ones he wore when he came back, wearing the 4.5, because it ain't to play games with you.
Give me
it's
a minute.
To aim at you.
I'll pull up. Because it was a package deal.
Yeah, I love Patty Mahomes too. I showed that rookie card I had of his, that 8.5, the blue one, Don Russ. And I had the Lamar Jackson 10. Yeah, dude, y'all got a chance to win as long as he shows up.
That's it, man.
So we'll be live streaming. You know, we've only been live streaming football games for like 3 or 4 weeks. We've been doing live stream podcasts for over a year now. Deontay the Man, Carter, what's up? Coach Troy. Yeah, I'm Troy Taylor. I'm the custodian of Totem Pole. I'm the lowest of the low man. See Coach Bald? He's the president. See that backyard? That's what it looks like when you're the president of Totem Pole. He's at Totem Pole headquarters. That is not a blue screen, y'all. All right?
That's it, man. But to get to where I'm at, you got to be best friends with the custodian. You know what I mean? You got to be best friends with the other CEOs and COOs, man. That's how this thing works. You treat the COO just like you treat your head custodian. You know what I mean? It's real, man. You got to make people feel good. That's what it's all about. Defining moments, Coach. Defining moments was the package deal that they had on there was a 2-package combo from the Jays. And you can get a pair right. What size shoe are you, Coach?
10.5.
All right. We can get you a pair right now for $5,000. $5,008.
$5,000.
$5,000.
I could buy a car for that.
Dude. Speaking of cars, man, we got a guy. I'm trying to line up I'm trying to line something up for us, man. Yeah. A little Illini Pride.
Oh, that's our sponsorship?
We're in the process, man. We're trying to make a deal here, man. You know, he's actually a Route 10 guy as well. But his Route 10 is in Champaign, Illinois.
Nice.
Pride. Illini Pride, man.
Yeah. Tell the story of that before we sign off, man, about how he was going to sponsor us, and then you found out about him being on Route 10 too, because this is Route 10 in Virginia.
Yeah, it's just weird how the world works, man. It really is.
We're blessed.
He came down. He had a condo that he was getting rid of, so he came down, stayed with us for a couple of days. It was funny too, man. We took the Firebird out. Me and him took the Firebird out. 68 Firebird we got, and man, the thing broke down. And what's the best thing to have when you break down, Coach?
A thumb?
Nope. A mechanic driving the car.
Yeah.
He is the best mechanic I know, dude. He fixed the car in like 10 minutes, and
wow.
Yeah, after that, we just chatted about what was going on, and he's doing really big things where he's at. He just opened up his shop. He's still having things delivered there, but he's working his tail off every single day. He's just a grinder. And yeah, man, I just hit him up about it. He loves Totem Pole. I gave him some Totem Pole gear while he was here. And that was the thing. Like, he fixed my ride. He fixed my other car too. I needed brake pads. He did that in like 10 minutes. And I said, look, let me pay you. He was like, you know what I could use? I could use some Totem Pole gear. I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. So I hooked him up and got to talking. And I was like, what do you think about some sponsorship? Works both ways. We can do stuff for you. And he was like, dude, that sounds phenomenal. So, that was it. He left on, and then we got to talking about it. And I just got him a message. I said, hey, this is what we got going on. I need your logo. I need your information so we can hit you up. And, we would like to do where we get you on live here. And I told him, I said, the new thing starting on 315 Coach Taylor. It's called the Route 10 Podcast. As soon as I said that, he was like, man, you are not going to believe this. I was like, what? You want to get something crazy? And I said, hey, man, shoot me straight. And he was like, the place where my story is on Route 10. Magnet, Illinois.
It's crazy, man. We're blessed. We're going to put his logo up there in that top left screen. We're going to get the interns to make us a new background. That's Route 10. That's 288 right there, y'all, in Chesterfield, Virginia.
Man, shout out to our amazing interns, man. Howard and Scott, man, you guys have just been killing it with those shorts. Man, that short of Eminem, and then who is the guy? The other
that was
guy?
Jamie Kennedy. That's one of my favorite movies, man. Y'all need to go watch that.
When I say Malay, y'all say boo. Malay.
Yeah. Hey, dude, that's the Malibu's Most Wanted. B-Rad. That's B-Rad. Y'all need to go check that out, man. Clap it up for him. Thank you. Hey, we're Totem Pole Nation.
Yeah.
All right? We're better than Barstool. We're definitely better than ESPN. Come on, man. Stephen A. Smith's hairline is on midnight. I mean, that junk is... We're the new kids on the block.
What's the old dude that's the Cowboys fan?
Oh, that's
Cowboys.
Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless, man. What a
Coach
punk
Ball,
that guy is. What a punk he is, man. And you saw he had a text at halftime that was just like, I guess they played Don't Stop Believing, right? And he was like, that's a Michigan song and blah, blah, blah. They're from Michigan. Man, he ate those words, man. What a chump that guy is.
Hey, we love y'all, man. Until next time, we'll hit y'all up.
To the next episode.